Did you see those new photos of Johnny Depp? The internet can't stop talking about them. People are saying he looks completely different. Some are shocked, some are impressed, and some are asking if this is a reinvention, or something Hollywood doesn't want us to question too much. And honestly, if you've been following everything around Johnny lately, then you already know it feels like something big is happening. There's mystery, there's excitement, and there's a lot of speculation. So let's talk about it in a simple and natural way. Is Johnny Depp showing us a brand new side of himself? Or is Hollywood polishing his image behind the scenes for a major comeback? It's a pretty wild conversation, and trust me, you're not alone in wondering about it. Fans everywhere are confused, curious, and honestly, kind of emotional. Because Johnny isn't just any celebrity. For many people, he feels like someone they've grown up with. They've watched him rise, fall, fight back, and now maybe transform again. And today, we're breaking it all down in a calm, friendly way. Like we're just sitting together talking about this latest Hollywood mystery. So, picture this. Johnny steps out recently and he looks refreshed. You can see the internet reacting in real time. Some people say, wow, he looks younger. Others say, hold on, this doesn't look like the same guy. And then there are those fans who defend him instantly, saying maybe this is simply a new chapter. And honestly, that's true. Johnny has reinvented himself so many times. Remember the early days? Messy hair, rock star poet energy, smoky eyes, and that whole mysterious vibe. Then we had Captain Jack Sparrow era, a wild, rebellious, iconic character who basically changed the way we see pirates forever. After that came the quieter European art phase with soft tones, hats, glasses, and a more reflective style. So when people say Johnny looks new, shouldn't we expect it? He doesn't just change clothes or roles. He changes eras of his personality. That's always been his thing. Creative people do that. They evolve. They use life as a canvas. And honestly, after everything he has faced, maybe this change isn't strange at all. Maybe this is healing. Maybe this is strength, but the internet loves drama. So right when these pictures started spreading, the rumors followed fast. Cosmetic work. Studio makeover. Hollywood involvement. People whispering things like, new contract image requirements, or he's preparing for something major, or this is not natural. And you know how online discussions go? One person says something, someone else repeats it, and suddenly it becomes a theory everyone starts believing. But let's slow down for a second. We forget something important. Johnny Depp has faced enormous stress for years. Legal battles, emotional pain, media noise. Those things age a person. And when you finally get peace, when you step away, rest, recover, breathe, you naturally look different, better, softer, maybe even younger. And honestly, if Johnny did do something cosmetic, why is that bad? People change their hair, clothes, skin, style all the time. The world judges celebrities so hard that sometimes they have no choice but to adjust. And after going through some of the hardest public moments of his life, if Johnny chose self-care, good for him. If he didn't, and this is just natural recovery and a fight back to health, then also good for him. Either way, the outcome is the same. We're seeing a new phase. Now, here's the interesting part. Some fans actually noticed this change much earlier. Not just now. Months ago, on his European tour, someone commented, Johnny looks like he's stepping into a new era. Like he's healing. Isn't that powerful? A fan could feel the shift in him before the media even acknowledged it. That's not surgery talk. That's emotional energy talk. Some moments spoke louder than the photos. The softer jawline, the fuller cheeks, the more rested eyes, the calm energy, not rushed, not aggressive, just peaceful. Like a man who let go of something heavy and walked forward without looking back. Now imagine Hollywood watching that. Whether we like it or not, the film industry works with images. If they see Johnny rising again, they want to shape that rise. They want to polish it. They want the perfect comeback narrative. Studios are eager. They know his name pulls in audiences. They know fans love him, and they know a reinvented Johnny is a powerful headline. It's no surprise there are whispers. A stylist saying Johnny is preparing for a major visual era. A marketing insider hinting that refreshed looks usually mean a comeback push. And talk about a big upcoming interview where he might talk about all of this. These little hints add fuel to the fire. But even if there is a comeback plan, isn't that exciting? We all wanted him to rise again. We all felt his silence was too long. We all wanted the world to see his talent, not the noise around him. So when people say something's different, yes, something is different. But maybe it's not a cover-up. Maybe it's transformation, growth, healing, a new creative wave. Because think about it. When someone goes through intense battles and finally finds peace, they change. They breathe differently. They carry themselves differently. Their eyes soften. Their body relaxes. They glow again. People forget that peace is the best cosmetic in the world. Still, curiosity is normal. Nobody is wrong for noticing changes. It's human. We all do it, especially with people we feel connected to. But instead of jumping to plastic surgery rumors or Hollywood secrets, maybe we pause and see a more emotional story. Maybe Johnny is just stepping into a new chapter with confidence. Maybe he's finally letting go of all that pain and stepping into light again. Because think about it. When someone goes through a storm that big, when the whole world is watching you, judging you, dissecting your life like it's entertainment, it leaves marks that are not always visible on the outside. Some wounds aren't on the skin. They sit deep in the soul. And sometimes when a person finally heals from those emotional cuts, the outside starts to reflect that peace too. Healing has a look. Peace has a softness. Strength has a glow. When someone survives chaos and steps into calm, you can see it in their face. Their eyes look clearer. Their posture changes. They move slower, more present, like they're not running from anything anymore. Like they finally exhaled a breath they held for years. And you know what? Johnny isn't the first person in Hollywood to evolve visually after a personal battle. Plenty of stars go quiet, disappear for a while, and then come back looking almost reborn, not because of vanity, but because hardship transforms a person. It carves wisdom into their features. It wipes away old energy. It forces reflection, acceptance, and eventually a kind of inner rebirth. Johnny's life wasn't just a movie script drama. It was real. Every headline, every whispered rumor, every hurtful comment. That was his life. And no matter how strong someone is, no matter how famous or successful, that does something to you. So if today he looks calmer, smoother, maybe even brighter, doesn't that reflect victory more than surgery? Doesn't it speak to resilience? Imagine what it feels like to carry so much for so long and then finally feel free. That kind of relief shows up on your face. It softens worry lines. It brings back color. It lifts the shoulders. It makes a person stand taller, not because they are trying to be impressive, but because they finally feel light. Maybe this is that. Maybe Johnny isn't hiding anything. Maybe he's revealing something. A version of himself untouched by gossip, untouched by courtroom lights, untouched by noise. A version that remembers who he really is, an artist, a storyteller, a human being who feels deeply and expresses that emotion through art, not interviews. Think about how many times he has reinvented himself on screen. Captain Jack, Edward Scissorhands, the Mad Hatter. All these characters had one thing in common. They were misunderstood, layered, and different. People didn't always get them, but they made us feel something. They made us connect emotionally. Johnny brought those characters to life by giving them parts of himself, his vulnerability, his humor, his pain, his imagination. So why wouldn't Johnny reinvent himself in life too? Artists don't stay the same. They evolve or they fade, and Johnny has always chosen evolution. New look, new energy, new spirit, but still the same heart. Still the same soul behind the eyes, and if this new look is part of his healing, part of reclaiming who he is, then shouldn't we cheer for him instead of questioning him? Shouldn't we recognize how hard it is to rise after a fall that public? It takes strength. It takes patience. And it takes emotional courage much bigger than physical appearance. People forget that for him, coming back isn't just about movies or fame. It's about identity. It's about proving to himself that he survived. That he can move forward. That life didn't break him, it shaped him. And yes, the world will still speculate. Some people will always look for drama where there is none. But real fans, the ones who have been there through the noise, see something else. They see a man reclaiming his life. They see softness returning to someone who's been hardened by life. They see creativity sparking again in eyes that once looked tired and guarded. That doesn't come from surgery. That comes from peace. That comes from finally breathing again after feeling like the world was holding its breath for you. That comes from letting go of fear, letting go of judgment, letting go of the past, and stepping into a future that feels lighter, calm, and full of possibility. So maybe instead of asking, what did he do to his face? The real question is, what did he do for his soul? Because when you fix that, the rest follows naturally. And if he wants to come back looking like a new man, with fresh energy and renewed passion, then this isn't a cover-up. This is a comeback, a rebirth, a quiet victory whispered into the world, not shouted, and honestly, it suits him. A new era deserves a new look. A healed heart deserves a fresh expression. And after everything he's been through, he has earned every moment of peace, every bit of softness that returns to his features, every spark of confidence that comes back to his eyes. Maybe this is not about hiding anything. Maybe this is about finally showing up again, fully, proudly, and without apology. Remember when he once said he doesn't live based on other people's expectations? He just follows art? That line matters. Because this new look, whether natural or strategic, feels like a move toward art, peace, and control again. He isn't hiding. He isn't running. He's preparing. And if Hollywood is smart, they'll follow his lead, not the other way around. There's also something powerful in the timing. His public appearances are carefully spaced. His projects are quiet but brewing. His supporters have gotten louder again. His energy feels steadier. It's almost like he's saying, I'm not done. I'm just beginning again. And honestly, isn't that what comeback stories are made of? Everyone loves watching someone rise. Especially someone who fell not because of talent or failure, but because life got noisy and unfair. And now watching him walk out with a refreshed face, whether natural or enhanced, feels symbolic. Like a phoenix shedding ashes. Hollywood transformations are not new. Many stars reinvent themselves. But with Johnny, it feels deeper, raw, personal. This isn't just a face. This is a message, a reset. A declaration that he is still here, not hiding, not apologizing, not shrinking, and of course, the internet will talk. They always do, but the more people talk, the more it proves one thing: he still matters. He still holds attention. And that alone is power. His face isn't the story. His journey is, so what do you think? Is this a reinvention? A comeback strategy? A natural reset from peace and healing? Or a Hollywood makeover? Whatever your opinion is, what matters. Because fans like you shaped his rise, supported his fight, and now you're witnessing his transformation again. Share your thoughts. Talk about it. Let's have that conversation. And if you're curious to go deeper into this emotional journey and learn the moment fans spotted his transformation before anyone else, well, that story continues in the next video waiting for you. You and I both know this isn't the end of Johnny's story. It's a new page, maybe even a new book. And the world is watching, not because they doubt him, but because they're excited to see what he becomes next. So tell me what you feel. What do you see in his new look? Strength? Mystery? Healing? Or just Hollywood magic? There's no wrong answer, only curiosity. And today, curiosity brought us together to talk about a man who has always been more than a face, more than a headline, more than a rumor. Hit like if you felt connected to this story. Subscribe if you want to follow his journey deeper. And don't go anywhere yet. Click the next video because trust me, the most emotional Johnny Depp story is waiting for you, and you don't want to miss it.